March 1945. The western edge of Germany is no longer a frontier. It is a wound. Hauptmann Hans von Luck, 33 years old, stands in the cold drizzle near the village roads east of the Rhine, listening to artillery that never pauses. He commands what remains of a reconnaissance battalion of the 21st Panzer Division, a unit that once crossed Europe at speed, now reduced to scattered companies, borrowed rifles, and men pulled from hospitals and training depots. The Reich he serves no longer speaks of victory. It speaks only of endurance. The Rhine has been crossed. Allied engineers have bridged it under fire. American armored columns roll east with fuel, radios, and air cover that owns the sky. Von Luck knows the numbers. He has seen the reports. He also knows the orders. Hold ground, delay, survive long enough for anything to change. His men dig in along hedgerows and forest edges, using shovels older than some of the soldiers holding them. Panzerfausts are counted like gold. Ammunition is issued by the handful. Overhead, Allied fighter-bombers prowl without challenge, waiting for movement, smoke, heat. The German response is stillness. This is not the Germany of parades and speeches. This is Germany in fragments. Von Luck moves between positions on foot. Vehicles draw fire. He checks sentries, speaks quietly, keeps his voice flat. Fear spreads faster than orders now. He can feel it in the pauses between answers, in the way men look past him instead of at him. Many are teenagers. Others are veterans hollowed out by years of retreat from Normandy to the West Wall, from France to the fatherland. Artillery walks closer. American fire control is precise, methodical. Trees burst. Earth lifts and falls. The front is no longer a line, it is a pressure, pushing inward from all directions. News arrives in pieces. Cologne has fallen. The Ruhr industrial region is threatened with encirclement. Hitler's headquarters issues proclamations about counterattacks that exist only on paper. Von Luck folds the message, puts it away, and does not repeat it to his men. At night, the cold sharpens. The men listen to engines beyond the dark-tracked vehicles, many of them. The sound does not retreat. It multiplies. By dawn, American infantry probes forward behind rolling barrages. Von Luck orders a brief engagement, then withdrawal by bounds. No heroics. No last stands. Survival is the mission now, whether Berlin admits it or not. A machine gun jams. A runner is hit crossing a ditch. The withdrawal costs men anyway. It always does. As they pull back toward the Ruhr, Von Luck realizes the truth that no order will ever state. This is no longer about defending Germany. It is about navigating its collapse without being crushed by it. And somewhere ahead the steel ring is closing. The road into the Ruhr narrows under weight it was never built to carry. Von Luck's column moves, at dawn through villages already, hollowed out. Windows are shattered, wells fouled, white cloths hang from doors where civilians have decided the war is over even if the army has not. He orders his men to ignore them. Discipline, still matters. It is the last thing holding the battalion together. Behind them, the American pressure does not. Eased out artillery follows the retreat with calculated patience, lifting, then falling again just close enough to remind them they are being watched. Every halt is temporary. Every map reference is outdated. Roads marked secure are already cut by armored spearheads, moving faster than German staff officers can report. By mid-morning, the sound changes. Tanks, not distant anymore, close, enough to feel through the ground. Von Luck halts the lead elements near a wooded rise overlooking a crossroads west of Ham. It is not defensible for long, but it offers sight lines. He orders 2 Panzerfaust teams forward, spreads his machine guns to cover the approach, and tells the men exactly what this is: a delay, 10 minutes if they are lucky. American Shermans appear first, cautious, infantry riding the decks. Von Luck waits until the lead tank turns slightly, exposing its flank. The Panzerfaust fires. The impact is sharp. Final dot smoke boils upward. The infantry scatter, trained, efficient, returning fire immediately. The German guns answer briefly, then the air arrives. Fighter-bombers drop through the cloud, cover with mechanical precision. Rockets strike the tree line. Machine gun fire sweeps the crossroads. Von Luck orders withdrawal before the position collapses entirely. One Panzerfaust team does not answer the call. He does not stop to find out why. They fall back again through smoke, through shell holes, through the remains of units that no longer have names. SS fragments, Luftwaffe ground troops, Volkssturm boys clutching rifles they barely know how to load. No one is coordinating this anymore. Everyone is moving east or standing still in shock. By evening, the reality becomes unavoidable. The Ruhr is being sealed. Radio traffic confirms it in broken sentences. American forces from north and south are closing the pocket. Bridges are gone. Fuel dumps are burning. Orders arrive demanding counterattacks without fuel, without armor, without hope. Von Luck listens, acknowledges, and does not move. Instead, he gathers his officers in a cellar lit by a single candle. He tells them the truth measured, calm, stripped of ideology. Survival will depend on cohesion. Units that dissolve will vanish. Units that stay together might live. Night falls with distant fires marking the industrial heart of Germany. The glow reflects off low clouds like a dying furnace. Von Luck lies awake on the cellar floor, boots still on, listening to the war tighten around them. Tomorrow the pocket will close completely, and once it does, there will be no direction left to retreat. Morning arrives without a front line. The Ruhr is no longer a place on the map. It is a sealed space, dense with men, machines, and nowhere to go. Von Luck emerges from the cellar into streets crowded with retreating. Fragments, columns without commanders, vehicles without fuel, wounded men riding carts meant for coal. Smoke hangs low, mixing with the smell of burned oil and brick dust. Somewhere nearby, a factory still burns. Days after being hit, its furnaces feeding a glow that never fades. Radio reports confirm what everyone already knows. The encirclement is complete. More than 300,000 German troops are trapped inside the Ruhr Pocket. No breakout corridors, no reserves, no air support. The Luftwaffe is a rumor now. American artillery begins early, not probing fire, systematic reduction. Battery after battery works through known positions, crossroads, rail yards. The sound is constant, flattening time into a single, endless impact. Von Luck moves his battalion through back streets and factory yards. avoiding main roads that are already under observation. Ammunition is critically low. Rations are gone. Men drink from fire cisterns and bomb craters. Discipline the roads quietly, no panic, just exhaustion that dulls reaction and thought. At a rail embankment south of Dortmund, they encounter American infantry advancing methodically, supported by armor. Von Luck orders his men to hold fire until the last possible moment. When the engagement begins, it is brief and brutal. A machine gun overheats. Rifles click empty. There is no second line to fall back to, only sideways movement, slipping through rubble and smoke. A young soldier is hit and screams until shock takes his voice. No medic comes. Von Luck steps over him, not because he does not care, but because stopping would cost everyone else. By afternoon, a courier arrives with written orders stamped and signed. Hold positions. No surrender. Von Luck reads them once. He folds the paper carefully and places it inside his coat. He gives no speech. He gives no ideological reminder. He simply issues practical instructions for the next movement. Around them, other units are making different choices. White flags appear on rooftops. Entire formations lay down weapons without firing another round. The war is ending unevenly, one decision at a time. Von Luck's battalion does not surrender. Not yet. They pull back into a partially collapsed industrial complex, steel frames twisted by bombing. From the upper floors they can see American columns advancing in parallel streets, sealing sections of the pocket like compartments in a sinking ship. As darkness falls, flares turn the ruins into a hard, white landscape of shadows. The men whisper questions no one answers. How long? For what? Von Luck sits alone beside a broken wall, listening to the steady advance beyond the smoke. He understands now that survival may soon mean disobedience or capture, and the choice will not remain theoretical for long. The night does not bring concealment. It brings clarity. By April 10, 1945, the Ruhr Pocket is being crushed inward with deliberate force. American loudspeakers echo through the ruins, their messages carried on calm voices and poor German. You are surrounded. Lay down your arms. The words repeat, steady and patient, as if time itself is on the attacker's side. Von Luck ignores the broadcasts. He is not clinging to ideology. He is measuring options and finding none. At first light, artillery strikes the industrial complex with accuracy that leaves no doubt. This position has been plotted. Steel beams collapse inward. Concrete floors pancake. Dust turns the air opaque. Von Luck orders evacuation by small groups, slipping out through service, corridors, and drainage. Cuts while the shelling continues. Outside, the battlefield is compressed into city blocks. American infantry advances behind armor, methodical, disciplined, covered by overlapping fire. There are no gaps, only seams, and even those close quickly. A skirmish erupts at a canal crossing. Von Luck personally directs a machine gun to slow the advance while his men withdraw across a damaged footbridge. The gun fires until its last belt runs dry. When it stops, the silence is immediate and dangerous. They make it across, but fewer than before. By midday, ammunition is nearly gone. Panzerfausts are expended. Rifles carry only single magazines. A soldier asks quietly what happens when the last round is fired. Von Luck does not answer. He does not need to. They shelter briefly in a school building, its classrooms shattered, children's writing still faint on chalkboards. The irony is sharp and unspoken. Outside, American tanks roll past the playground, crushing swings into the dirt. A final radio message crackles through fragmented, barely coherent. Army Group B has ceased organized resistance. Field Marshal Model is rumored dead. Whether by suicide or not no longer matters. Authority dissolves in real time. Von Luck gathers his remaining officers, now barely a platoon's worth of men left. He speaks plainly. Continued movement will only scatter them. Resistance without ammunition is execution. Surrender is no longer betrayal, it is arithmetic. Some men nod. One looks away. None argue. As white cloth is tied to a rifle barrel, American fire pauses not everywhere, but here. A Sherman turret shifts, then holds. Infantry approach cautiously, weapons raised, fingers disciplined on triggers. Von Luck steps forward first. His hands are empty. His face is drawn, unremarkable, almost anonymous among thousands making the same walk at the same hour. Behind him, his men follow alive, disarmed, exhausted. The war has not ended, but for them the fighting has. And as they are led away under guard, the sound of artillery continues in the distance working through what remains of the pocket. Surrender does not bring silence. It brings a different kind of noise. Orders are shouted in English, then repeated in broken German. Weapons are stacked. Helmets are dropped. The metallic clatter spreads along the street as hundreds of men comply at once, the sound echoing between ruined buildings like the closing of doors. Von Luck stands among them, no longer a commander, only a man in a worn field coat with captain's bars that no longer carry authority. An American infantryman searches him quickly, efficiently, with no anger in the motion. A map, a compass, a notebook taken, and placed aside without comment. They are marched east, away from the fighting, hands visible, eyes forward. Some civilians watch from cellars and doorways. No one cheers. No one curses. The war has drained even that from them. Artillery continues behind the column. Somewhere else, men are still choosing to fight. Others are surrendering seconds later. The Ruhr Pocket is collapsing in layers, not all at once. By nightfall, the prisoners are herded into an open field bordered by wire and hastily posted guards. There is no shelter, no food, only the ground, still warm in places from recent fires. Men sink down where they stand. Some sleep immediately. Others stare upward, unable to close their eyes. Von Luck remains awake. He listens to conversations in the dark whispers about Berlin, about families, about whether the Americans will hand them to the Soviets. Rumors move faster than facts now. No one knows what tomorrow looks like. At dawn, trucks arrive. The prisoners are counted, recounted, then loaded for transport to a temporary POW enclosure deeper in Allied-controlled territory. Along the road, the damage becomes total. Factories flattened, rail lines twisted, entire neighborhoods erased. This is the landscape Germany, built for war and paid for in full. At the camp, officers are separated from enlisted men. Rank still matters here, if only administratively. Von Luck is processed, questioned briefly, then assigned a number. The exchange is professional, almost polite. The Americans are not cruel. They are simply finished with the fight. Inside the wire, time stretches. News filters in slowly. Frankfurt has fallen. Leipzig is threatened. Berlin is surrounded. The Reich is collapsing inward on itself, city by city, order by order. Von Luck walks the perimeter during the hours allowed, watching guards who are younger than he is, well-fed, unafraid. He feels no hatred, only a growing distance from the world he came from. At night, the camp is quiet. Not the silence of peace, but of waiting. Somewhere beyond the fences, the war is entering its final days, and Von Luck understands that survival now will mean living with what comes after. The end comes without ceremony. In early May 1945, the guards stop counting days allowed. News arrives not as an announcement, but as a change in posture, less urgency, fewer weapons carried at the ready. Somewhere beyond the wire, the shooting has thinned to isolated echoes. The war is collapsing into paperwork. Von Luck hears it from another prisoner first, then from an American officer who confirms it with a single sentence spoken flatly, without triumph. Germany has surrendered. There is no reaction at first, no cheering, no outrage. The words do not land all at once. They move slowly through the camp, settling differently on each man. Some sit down, some close their eyes. A few laugh briefly, then stop. For Von Luck, the moment is strangely distant. The Reich he served has already ceased to exist in any recognizable form. What has surrendered now is only the remainder. Days pass. Routine replaces uncertainty. Food improves. Interrogations resume, not aggressive, not ideological. The Americans want clarity, unit dispositions, confirmation of facts already known. Von Luck answers honestly. There is no advantage left in silence. At night he thinks of the road into the Ruhr, of the moment he folded the final order and chose not to obey it. That decision saved lives. It also ended a career, a cause, an identity built over years of movement, command, and retreat. Beyond the camp, Germany is being divided, catalogued, occupied. Cities lie open and defenseless. Civilians pick through ruins for materials to survive the coming winter. The future is not planned, it is improvised. One morning, Von Luck is told he will be transferred again. Where, he is not told. The guards are courteous, efficient. They have done this many times now. As he waits by the fence with his small bundle of belongings, he watches the sky. There are no aircraft overhead. For the first time in years, the air belongs to no one. The war that once demanded everything from him, speed, obedience, belief, has reduced him to a number on a list, standing quietly in line. He does not know when he will be released. He does not know what Germany will become, or what place, if any, he will have in it. All he knows is that survival has carried him here past victory, past defeat, into a silence that offers no instructions. And the future, like the ruins beyond the wire, remains unfinished.